Harry's call blindsides Meghan. I'm going back to my family. It might have been a sunny summer's morning in Montecito last week, but for the Duchess of Hypocrisy, the mood was rather chilly. Meghan Markle was spotted running errands in the sleepy seaside California town, looking frosty as she checked her phone. So Meghan was out and about while her husband, Prince Harry, was away in Singapore playing polo. Insiders who spoke with New Idea say the distance between them was not enough to soothe rumored ongoing tensions between the couple. And we're hearing that the latest pressure point is the impending anniversary of the Queen's passing on September 8th. Media in the UK is reporting that Harry hasn't been invited to a family only memorial at Balmoral Castle, where Her late Majesty passed away 1 year ago at the age of 96. The source claims that was more than enough for Harry to urgently take stock of the feud with his father, King Charles, and his brother, Prince William. He was always close with the Queen, and he's genuinely distressed at not being invited, claims the source, who also says that Harry reached out to the King and begged to be involved in some way. And going by Harry's smile in Singapore, it seems like Charles has maybe changed his mind about Harry coming, but not his daughter-in-law. See, nobody wants to be just another flashpoint in Meghan's next Hollywood interview, so Charles is going to have to put his foot down over Harry coming with Meghan, says the source. Their children are welcome at any time, but if Harry is really serious about reconciliation, he has got to earn everybody's trust back. Meanwhile, back in Montecito, it's pretty obvious that Meghan Markle isn't very happy. She was seen out and about wearing a new calm patch on her wrist, which is used to treat stress, anxiety, and sleeplessness. She was also photographed sharing ladies' lunches while Harry was away. Meg was no doubt having a good old whine about her in-laws to her girlfriend, speculates a source. But see, Meghan never came to understand the basic fact that while royalty have employees who serve, the role of the monarchy is to serve the people. She also experienced so many difficulties in understanding that the monarchy doesn't get paid for personal appearances, and they also are not allowed to claim expenses for these events. She also could not appreciate that she was no longer Meghan Markle, a TV actress. Instead, she was just one small part of a much larger permanent show. Her behavior would reflect on how that show is viewed. And she also couldn't accept the fact that there were going to be things that, as a member of the royal family, she wasn't allowed to do anymore. Meghan needed to accept the fact that she's not a royal princess and she never will be. She was incredibly rude to royal staff. She didn't like curtsying to people above her. She is also incredibly jealous of other members of the family, especially Princess Catherine, the future queen. Meghan thought that with a snap of her finger she would get to meet A-listers, and that's never going to happen. Meghan Markle was a bit part actress for a little while, and she was a yacht girl for quite a long time. It's not a very impressive background, I gotta say. Meghan also wasn't comfortable with the fact that as a member of the royal family, she was not supposed to be expressing her political opinions. See, the royals are apolitical, especially in public. And it's not like she could do very much in impromptu events either. Her schedule would be heavily planned. She also would have been expected to stay away from people who may reflect badly on the family. I mean, one Jeffrey Epstein friendship was way too many. She also had to be careful that she didn't seem to be wasteful or irresponsible. She couldn't be seen by the public as bringing the family into disrepute by things that she would say or her behavior or who she chose to associate with. As a working member of the family, Meghan was expected to perform the duties that the public expected her to do. Now, the monarchy holds on to many traditions that may seem weird in the 21st century, but still, these traditions are incredibly important. They make up the foundation of the monarchy. Meghan Markle could not live up to even one of the expectations of a working royal, and maybe this is why she claimed that she wanted to modernize the royal family, as if it were really her right to do that. I mean, Meghan Markle is so smug, and the irony was that she was an actress. She understands what it means to be cast in a play or in a movie. She understands a supporting role. She understands how to deal with the media, how to dress appropriately, how to keep her mouth shut, and promote the show like Suits. But as a working royal, she couldn't adapt. For example, an actor is not allowed to criticize the director or the show in an interview. I think the Queen assumed that she would understand how to adapt and she would be able to adjust to her role. Trying to be the diva and acting like this big star blew up in her face. I mean, you can take the girl off the yacht, but you can't take the yacht out of the girl, obviously. Meghan Markle is always going to be acting like a bimbo. She can go back to any yacht club and she can charge $1 for her happy hour services, I guess. The very moment that I saw images of Meghan's fake clapping at the Invictus Games in Toronto, when Harry introduced her as his girlfriend, I sussed out who she was. I knew she was a fraud. Just looking at that footage made me realize that her exaggerated applause and cheering wasn't simply faked and feigned, it was also incredibly exaggerated. And at that moment, I became convinced that Meghan was an actress and an imitator, and she was a sham. There was just no genuineness to her, no authenticity in her simulated clapping. Basically, her behavior looked like a phony. But actually, she didn't even do a good job acting because you could see right through it. And at that time, I knew that she was not the right woman for Harry, and that the unsuspecting, gullible prince had bought himself a worthless lemon. I mean, who is going to show up wearing some torn, stonewashed types of denim at an event for disabled athletes? For goodness sake, Meghan doesn't have a clue. I mean, people could never take her seriously when they see her clapping with such obvious fakery. Because not only can we see it, but we can also hear that it's all a big fat lie. Meghan Markle always tries to detract from the truth. Meghan's sudden eruption of fake applause was just so unbelievable. I mean, it could have been performed and unrolled in Swahili. But we gotta give credit where credit is due. She was trying her best to convince us that her ovation really was so amazing and that she was going to be the loudest cheer in the whole place. How fabulous it was not only to see her, but also to get to hear her. Ugh. Come on now, Meghan was only there for the fame and attention. She was spotted at the Invictus Games, marking her inaugural appearance at an official engagement attended by Prince Harry. She was photographed with that smirk on her face, clapping amongst the crowds during the opening ceremony of the competition for wounded veterans in Toronto, and that was way back in 2017. So Meghan showing up at the Invictus Games came after a long time of people speculating that the two of them, who had been dating in the past for approximately a year, were going to make their very first public appearance together at an official event during the Invictus Games, which Harry, of course, was important in creating back in 2014. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, if we're going to discuss titles, then let's get it right. Technically, there is no such person as Princess Catherine, just like there is no such person as Princess Meghan. The First Lady is Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and the second person we can call Princess Henry, but we cannot call her Princess Meghan, just like her late mother-in-law wasn't actually Princess Diana. Instead, she was Diana, Princess of Wales, while she was married to the then Prince Charles, and then when they got divorced, she became Diana, Princess of Wales. She was missing the. If you ask me, Meghan never had any intention whatsoever of staying with the royal family unless she got her way in every single thing and she could be the one in charge. I suspect she believed for some reason that Harry and William were equal, and that William could easily just be pushed to the side and Harry would end up being next in line to the throne. Boy, she must have been shocked when she found out the truth. And you, what do you think about her? Please continue to discuss Meghan and Harry with us below in the comments. If you think my video is helpful, don't be afraid to like and share it with your friends and family who need it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.